Seavark over on team 1, ready to go, but looks like not going to be going first. Espion not going first either. Winsham, Me Stinks. Looks like Me is going to be first up, as well as News. Is it supposed to be Mez Tinks? It's got to be Me Stinks, right? It's got to be. Lexip out from Minicosa off of the clash, and that's going to be immediately defensive out of the warrior. Trying to play defensive, and that's going to be trying to reverse some of the damage back to Minicosa. Minicosa unleashing full damage. Stun though, looks like stun breaks his ability. His main, not covenant ability, I was about to say covenant ability. His hero talent ability. Right? Poured out from Minicosa, got himself a second port in case he needs more health. Me Stinks needs something here to survive. He's not in a great spot, and that's going to be Minicosa doing just enough damage to get himself low enough, let the touch of death do work, and is trying to see if he catch up. Couple of verifies for Winsham. He's got himself work cut out. That is a very mobile class, but if you can catch him, got himself a big primordial, potentially a big setup here. Minicosa just still trying to see if he can catch up on some health. He may have to play around his cooldowns here. Knocked back onto the monk. Got himself a ring of peace. There's potentially Winsham. Might be able to get himself a setup. Last to follow. Does not have a trinket, but he's got himself that passive damage. Those slashes in the front, those Zoen slashes, that is a bit of passive, nice bit of passive damage overall. Root onto Minicosa. He's got himself right exactly where he wants to be. Next to the shaman, able to punch and kick the hell out of the guy. Board back and forth. Got himself a bit of healing. Root stopping him go. And that's going to be a Winsham. Got himself a proper setup here. That is a Shadow Meld. Yo, biggest value meld. What a value meld. Because Sham, he doesn't have enough for an Earthquake, I don't think, there at all, does he? This is going to be a Trinket. Lava Burst coming in with another Lava Burst around the corner with a shot, with a, what is it, a Frost Shock too? I think he's got himself a proper Frost Shock there and everything. He got himself Ice Fury cooked up, ready to go into a quick interrupt. Karma right after. He's got himself Burrow, just trying to see if he can keep himself alive. That Ring of Peace is still knocking you out of your Burrow. And he's got himself Belly Blossom, but on the Druid, I think. Oh no. Or maybe one of the images? It is going to be a clash trying to see if you can pull him in. Those images, though, with the Celestial Conduit do quite a number of damage. Sham trying to get himself a bit of survivability. He's going to go for the Guardian. Just trying to see, almost like as if he expected Minicosa to charge back in on that Guardian. Because he wants to get himself as much healing as possible. Lightning Lasso Zoen is in play. Minicosa got enough damage here. Knock up onto Sham. He's got himself lots of instant cast damage, but Minicosa just needs a couple more globals. He's got himself Hex. Maybe heal. Zoen is trying to claw him down. He's able to recover a little bit of health though. He's trying to see if he can survive this. It is going to be a shields up for Sham as well as shields up for Minicosa. Trying to see if he can leap away as a Fist of Fury locking him down. He's got himself mobility. He's got himself gap closers. For Sham, he's got to have defenses. The question is, does he have offensive power? Clash to keep the guy in place, trying to go for a Hex. Does get a Juke it, and there goes a full Hex. No Trinket. That's going to be some freebie heals out for Sham. And that's exactly what he needs. Poured out for Minicosa. He's probably going to pour back in and get aggressive. That's exactly what he's going to go for. As an Elo Blast connects. Big haste buff up for Sham with a lasso. Trying to see if he can walk away from Minicosa. He's got himself the Earth Elemental to give himself a little survivability. Instant caster in play into a knockback off of the left sweep. Minicosa is kind of low in health. Karma coming in 4 seconds. Should be able to use a pretty big defensive. Knock up does not quite get to go as far as he wants to. Definitely needs to use a Karma. For Sham, unless you got Burrow, he just needs to live. I don't know how you survive this. Root, but you're rooted as well. No wall, no nothing. Conduit walks away from it. Hex, in capture follow, try to get a heal, but a blackout kick takes him. That is such a close duel. So close. And he does survive it. News out here, trying to give this man as much of an auto duel. I love how News runs this, by the way. My favorite warrior in the beta, by far. Actually, Mystics is pretty cool too. But News, he's just a Chad warrior, man. He walks in, gives him auto duels, plays that Slayer Fury. He's just a simple man with simple pleasures and loves duels. And you gotta appreciate it, man. You gotta appreciate it. As he charges in, that's gonna be the random freebie damage out of Minicosa. Dust of Zoen into a shockwave off that stops the Fist of Fury. Big damage on the Minicosa, trying to see if he can escape. Does not have a port by the looks of it. Lexit to follow him. No trick out of News, just trying to see if he can save it. As Minicosa is gonna torpedo out of there as fast as possible, just flying out like a missile. In cap, Zerker rages out of it immediately. Avatar still available, trying to see see if he can maybe Shadow Meld it. Fist of Fury, that's your way to stop it. He's getting parried. Fear onto the monk. Does break out of it. Got himself a little bit of survivability here with a Fort Brew. Charges in with a Blade Storm. Cannot be moved anywhere. Minicosa bails out of that one as soon as possible. This is where News can actually put some pressure on the guy. He can basically force him to run out, almost like a Blade Storm is a zonal tool. Knocking up the warrior up in the air, shock for a second. News may be looking at a defensive option here right now. Port out for Minicosa, got himself a bit of healing, and is looking like he's going to be just fine. Images available, Fist of Fury locking the guy down as he does stun it. Got him some big damage. That's going to be defensive in order to live a lot of this damage out into a Karma to follow. He needs an escape. He got him some rally. He's just got to play very defensive. Rally may have to come out here very, very soon. I don't know if he's got a stun, leaping away, trying to see if he can delay that rally until later. Maybe using rally right now here. Not in a great spot. He's borrowed a lot of health right now. It's going to get taxed so hard. Oh no. It might be in a bit of a tight spot. He's got damage though. Minikos is respecting that damage. Just trying to get out of there. News is just going to take a lot of... Second wind is going to kick in at some point though, right? Second wind kicking in. I don't know if Minicosa wants to play this. I don't know if he wants to play against second wind. Second wind too strong. News is healing while it's just AFK, and ports are out for Minicosa. Does end up using one of the charges. If he got himself a setup, Avatar and everything is available. Hold on. He may just have the most amount of damage. Ripping right through the monk. Stun to follow right after. He's got himself a proper setup. If Minicosa does not have an out, this could be the answer to the guy. Oh, just rocking him. There's nothing you could do in that situation whatsoever. That was a rough one. Both played that one really, really well, by the way. That was a tough one. And News is getting hammered right now by every single element in the periodic table right now. Jesus Christ, somebody get this man some help. Trinket to follow him. Does not have a lot of help to work with. Stun for a second. I don't know if he's got Blade Storm or anything. Hex, no way to stop it. View him for a second. Hold on a moment. He's trying to keep himself stabilized. He's got a doubt on him, though. I think there's a Flame Shock on him. Or maybe fire elemental damage. Second wind kicking in. Second wind gives him a chance. He's charging in. He doesn't even let that second wind accumulate the entire time. It's going to be Shaman bailing out of there off of the root. Massive blast at the guy right afterwards. It's going to be a knockdown for... Looks like a knockdown for second out by News. As he's got himself Avatar proc for just a second, it looked like. Or some kind of a proc, I'm not even sure. Defense is coming up very, very soon. Knocking the warrior back, he's got big heals. He's got rally, there goes the big heal. Leaping away, the warrior's charging in. He's got plenty of mobility. He can stay on top of the guy for a good bit here. Burrow down for a second for the Shaman. Does not have a way to break out of next stunts. And News caught up all that health he needed. Root for a second. I don't know if he can Blade Storm out of this. Shockwave's the guy, but he doesn't have a way to catch up right now. I don't know if he's got leap or anything. If he's got a Blade Storm, that could potentially be the play. Light the lasso. He does not have a trinket. I'm just trying to see if he can give himself a float here. Another charge by the warrior. He's trying to see if he can get out of there. The leaps are real. Got himself a reflect for a second. This is going to be the elemental switched out from earth into fire. And if News got himself full Blade Storm, I think he'll be fine. He just needs to close the gap. Full cooldowns already. He needs to make a play now. He just needs to go in. Try to see if he can rip the guy apart. Oh, I just Blade Stormed him. Just blendered the guy. And Cobra is up next. News, I don't know how you can win this one here. Unless Cobra gives you a proper honor duel, there's just no shot. And I don't think he's going to let it happen. He got rally, that's about it. I don't know if he got offense. He just had to wait until everything was available. He had to play the long haul. Infernal coming in. Big Bonza fell, Immolate, Mordecai sent in. He has a rally, but like, do you just send it? Do you just use it? Do you run? I think he's going to try to see if he can run. He is dotted though. Shadow Meld not available either. But at the very least, you're not out in the open getting blasted by a Warlock. Succubus catches you around the corner. Warlock closes that gap. And it's just going to be lights unless News somehow comes out. There's no shot. There's no shot. He has a Mother of Chaos barreling down him while Infernal keeping him extra warm. Succubus whipping him into shape, and Cobra just casting conflagrations left and right. Big setup by Espeon though. He's got himself proper go. Fade for a moment, does get hit with a fear. Ruination got himself a disperse for this one, and that's going to be the Void Rift trying to make his way over to Cobra. If he can avoid it, does get to avoid the void. Apparently you can avoid the void. More to call to follow as Zephyr locked down the Shadow Priest for a second. Cobra trying to get aggressive. He sees the dampening is very, very high. He can't really get a lot of healing, so he has to take damage whenever he can, and while he's controlled, he's going to try to establish more C on Espeon. Big cleave onto the Shadow Priest. He got himself another Void Torrent. Wall up for Cobra. He's got himself no interrupts for a second. Trying to Shadow Fury him down. Is going to be able to get some damage in. Cares about one. He needs more bolts. Got himself Reflect. Another bolt to follow him. He's got himself the pet joins in as well. If that pet can get line of sight of Espeon. Maybe he can get some damage. That thing is just rooted out though. It has actually got the Shadow Priest on the ropes. Infernal Bolt to follow. Got himself a lot of pressure, a lot of damage into a quick interrupt as he's going in for flash heal at 51% dampening though. I don't really know if you can heal anything here at all. Fear by Espeon catches him in a moment with another Void Torrent. He just needs an extra CC. Mortal for Cobra. He might just have to get hyper aggressive here. He can't do anything. Massive burst. Chaos Bolt. Is that enough? Oh, it is enough. He had to get super hyper aggro. And it paid off. And I think he's just dead, right? Get to the dots. Sitting down for food. He's got him some food. There it is. And that's going to be Seamark. Last man standing on team 1. 10 minutes into that round. Dude, this has been, I think this is probably the longest match we've had so far on the beta. Except when we got bugged out and stuff. But yeah, Seamark is just going to walk in and try to see if he can end the 55% dampening. He ain't healing. And Seamark got to go through him, Chata, and Yarim. So he's got a lot of homies to get through. A lot of dudes to get through. Wrath around the corner, got himself Dark Pack, Poly to follow. Seamark got himself a proper setup. He is going to commit a full Arcane Surge by the looks of it. Got himself the go. He wants to see if he can maximize Immortal Claw sent in. Does have a trinket ready. Reflect up and is able to reflect quite a bit of damage back at Seamark. Able to at least soften the blow, but it touches the magic. Full missiles, everything is in. And that's going to be Spark. Barrage, it's over. Seamark was able to recover with a lot of cooldowns coming back in. Not a lot of defenses burned. He did end up having to burn a trinket. And Yarim could potentially really give him room for his money, but he's giving him as much of an auto duel as he can. Letting this be an honorable match between two wizards. At the 11-minute mark, 60% dampener. He's got himself enough damage. Let's try to see if he can get himself a proper setup. Does not get to go for a proper interrupt there. Knock up at the Seamark. Does it burning Shadow Mode in order to dodge one of the CC. Does get hit with a poly for Yarim. That's an opportunity here. Proper go, proper chance. Does end up kind of getting out of it a little bit early though. Knocking him back for a quick second. Touch of the Magi is on, but he doesn't have the big damage to follow up. Seamark also got Touch of the Magi as well. It's without burst either, so it really comes down to whichever one gets the most procs. And I think it's gonna be, yep, block for Yarim. If only Yarim got himself like the proper, like everything available. He had a pretty decent setup, but that polymorph did not last long at all though. And that's I think gonna be maybe lights out. Misses around the corner. He's got a lot of procs. He's got that Arcane Sphere too, so sitting behind the pillar gives you no chance. He's not even letting anybody sit behind the pillar, and that's a orbs back to back. Got himself a couple of missiles, man. That is a rough one. Seamark is just a whole another kind of beast when it comes to the Arcane playstyle, man. It is wild. And Shadow at least giving him a proper honor duel, at least giving him a chance. I don't know if you want to do that though. Root does himself a setup. No trick available for the mage. Gives the Bunkin an opportunity to get himself a proper go here. Got himself some procs. Big Star Sword is doing damage. He's got himself a bit of shielding too from the mage. Not really his fault. Convoke the spirits. Seamark maybe can block it. That's still a lot of damage. Might be looking at a block right now. He got missiles. He's really playing risky with his health right now. He got a block last second as Shadow walks in. He busts out of it. Oh! No shot! Shadow had a lot of damage, but Seamark was cooking. The entire time that man was cooking something. Holy! Oh my god. Minicosa's healing is insane, by the way. That's a lot of damage to him from monks. Man. Alright, let's see how we're doing with the groups while I take a look at these monk nerfs apparently. I want to double check and double cross them. But let's get another one going for good groups. Espeon as well as Cobra. Let me know if you guys are ready. We'll get another going.